Welcome to a Speedy SOLIDWORKS video. Today we're going to look specifically at sketches, and I understand that they're not the most fantastic things in the world, but they are quite literally the most fundamental thing in all of SOLIDWORKS. So let's look at them specifically. Now, a sketch by definition is two-dimensional, so if you're going to start, say, a new part, you need to select a plane. It can't function without a plane. It needs something to work with. Obviously, later sketches can be put on flat faces, but you need something flat that you can create a two-dimensional object on. Now, something that I like to do when I start a sketch is I like to make a line for construction an infinite length and make it go both directions, both vertical and horizontal. These give me constraint bounds that you can then use to dimension anything off of. Sketches also have significantly more functions than just creating features. They can also be used to create reference geometry. Now, when I say reference geometry, I mean planes that you can then create different sketches off of. So let's look at what is in the sketch menu specifically. So say we're working on a sketch and we're done, we can click exit sketch, and now we're outside of the sketch. We can create features, but we don't want that. Let's hop back in, get perfectly perpendicular to our sketch, and then we can start looking at things that exist within the sketch menu. Smart dimension, obviously we need something to dimension before we can do anything. So line, circle, spline, ellipse, arcs, rectangles, slots, polygons, and sketch fillets. Traditionally, what I use the most are lines, rectangles, circles, and arcs. Granted, an arc is just a cut down circle, so between those three you can do a lot of things. So let's just grab a line, place it anywhere, and we'll connect it. So by definition, our sketch is now underdefined, which is called out in the bottom right hand corner. That basically just means that there is multiple entities within the sketch that are free to be moved, and honestly SOLIDWORKS doesn't like that. So something that we can do if we want to make these things defined is we can either add one, constraints to these lines, and two, we can add dimensions to them. So let's go through and create a dimension for this piece. And something great about having these construction lines is I don't have to go all the way to the origin. I can actually go to this horizontal axis, like horizontal origin point plane, like construction line, and give it a dimension. We'll call it 2. So now you can see that this entity becomes black. That means it is defined. Now the sketch as a whole is still underdefined, but this line itself is fixed in its location up and down. It also has a constraint of being horizontal. So between the horizontal constraint and this 2 inches, this line minus its endpoint is fully defined. Now this endpoint can still move. So let's try and constrain that endpoint without using a smart dimension, because what we could do is we could just define this length, say it's 3. Now this endpoint is fully defined, but let's get rid of that. Let's try something different. If we make this line perfectly vertical, so that is now added a vertical constraint to this line, and we now define this location or this dimension as 3, now we have a fully defined sketch. That means every entity that exists within this sketch is fully defined, fully locked down, and nothing can move or be dragged and moved unless you physically change dimensions or constraints. Now I could go through and talk about all these different special smart dimensions, but those are very, very niche use cases, and this is supposed to be a basics video. So say we have a circle. Well, now the circle is here. Now if we look at our definitions, it is now underdefined. So let's go through, give this some dimension, say 1, and we'll make it tangent to that line. What I'm doing to select both of these, if I click one, hold Control on the keyboard and click another one, you can now add relations to these 2 things that are highlighted. We can make these tangent. Now since the circle has a diameter and is tangent to these 2 lines which are defined, this entity now becomes defined. But say we get rid of this dimension, we can see now that the circle becomes undefined also, because it is tied constraintly to this line, and now that line is undefined. Let's redefine that, and let's look at some other tools within the sketch menu. So this area up here, that defines mainly your shapes, and then once that kind of gives you your lines on the page to work from. Now we can trim, convert, and offset entities. Converting entities is, say you have a couple sketches that are a few features back in your tree, and you want to use that same sketch or the same edges on a sketch. You can grab those and bring those through. Offsetting entities, say we want this line, but we want it kind of offset interior. We can also offset it, say 0.25 of an inch. Let's make it big, jump to 1. We can offset those entities. We can also reverse the direction on those. And now we have those entities defined by this 1 inch offset from these exterior ones. This can also be edited dynamically to move things around. Okay, now say that we like this, but we actually wanted this circle and we wanted this to be a radius up here. So we don't need these two things. What this trim entities can do is, you have a lot of these different options that can be used for different things. Power trim, I think, is the easiest to use because once it's selected, if you left click and drag, it will actually go through and get rid of things and cut it to the next intersection of points. So that trimmed those away. And what we can do is, even if we want to, we can come in on the inside and power trim that away. And now we have just kind of this radius outside with a nice corner inside, and everything is still defined. So this radius is now still constrained by the 1 inch diameter that we gave the circle, but the circle is now gone. Now the last super helpful tool that I want to show is the mirroring entities ability. So initially when you click the mirror entities, it's going to give you this window on the left. It's going to ask, what do you want to mirror? And do you want to copy it, or do you just want it to be mirrored across, and then that removes the initial geometry? So let's go through and grab everything less this line, and let's mirror about it this axis. Drop it over. Now we have things moved over, and for some reason this is no longer defined because it somehow became a floating point. And you can see, because it's a blue color instead of a fully black color, and also in the bottom left we have our underdefined readout. So what we can do, if we want to define it all, click both the point and our center, make it coincident, and now our sketch is fully defined. And just for good measure, let's mirror this thing all the way across so we can grab everything, deselect our construction lines, mirror it about said construction line, make sure we're copying it and not just moving it. And now we bring it over, and now it's a fully enclosed volume that's fully defined. We only defined a few things to start over here, but we were able to actually float this thing all the way around to now have a fully defined, fully enclosed sketch that could then be used to, say, create a boss extrude, or if we needed to and we wanted to cut this profile of something, a cut extrude. So that was just a quick, simple video on sketches and how you can manipulate them, define them, the basic functionality of a few different things. But if you like them, check out my other videos. Thanks.